Equity Group Holdings' recovery and resilience strategy saw profit after tax grow to 24.4 billion shillings for the half year ending June 30th, 2022. This was 36% higher than the 17.9 billion shillings profit realized at a similar period last year.
We were able to generate profit after tax of 24.4 billion, up from 17.9, a 36% profit growth, and earnings per share to the shareholders, to the investors, grew by 35%. And so we could see the trend for all stakeholders, the shareholders. Efficiency is contributing 36% profit after tax, and the return is straight going to return per share of 35%.
The profit growth was mainly driven by a 29% growth in interest income to 55 billion shillings, arising from a similar growth of loans to customers that amounted to 650.6 billion shillings. The loan growth was aimed at supporting clients to recover and rebuild after the COVID-19 business disruptions.
We successfully supported our customers to survive. We successfully supported our customers to transform and to thrive. They didn't only recover, they recovered, they became resilient. We gave loans 29% this year, 29% last year, and what has happened? They have thrived. And it's because of that the balance sheet of Equity is expanding exponentially.
The group digital transformation was sustained in the period where almost all customer transactions happened outside the branch network, leaving branches to do high-value transactions.
In 2015, 27.7 million transactions happened through the branches and ATMs. Same year, only 53.7 million transactions were in Equitel. 7 years later, the 27.7 million transactions that happened in the branches, they have just come to 19 million transactions. The number, as brick and mortar transaction declined by 7.5 million transactions, the number of transactions going through the digital infrastructure has gone up by 12 times.
The group continued a loan book diversification strategy across market segments, with large enterprises holding 26% and small and medium enterprises at 43%.
Net interest income matches the growth in loan book, 29, cent for a cent. The loan grew by 29%, income from the loans grew by 29%. That validates everything we said. We didn't change interest rates, we didn't change anything. We maintained to support the customers to grow. Interest expense, because of the debt, grew a little bit faster, but net interest grew by 28%. As we said, non-funded grew by 26%. Total income grew by 26%.
To align to the realities of the business challenges of disruptions by COVID-19 and the broken global supply chains, Equity opted to focus on becoming a leading trade finance regional bank. The focus has been to ease the cost of financing trade while facilitating cross-border trade in the East African Common Market and the African Continental Free Trade Area. Gross trade finance revenue grew by 64% to 2.6 billion shillings, while trade finance related lending grew by 106% to 34.4 billion shillings. The group registered a 19% growth in total assets to 1.3 trillion from 1.1 trillion shillings, primarily driven by a 59% growth in long-term debt funding.
The trade finance income has grown up by 64%. So these trade missions that we are taking people, we are not taking them with loans, we are taking them with trade finance. The regional trade, the common market exploits, the African continental free trade area opportunities we have decided to use the trade finance instrument, the Commonwealth market, and we can see this instrument is also supported with lending, and lending is now becoming more related. What are we becoming? A trade facilitation bank.
The bank continued to attract customers, with the numbers growing by 18% to 16.9 million, up from 14.3 million.
Our subsidiaries, they are now contributing 42% of all the deposits. They are contributing 40% of the entire assets. So Kenya has been reduced to a 60% contributor to the group. So essentially, we have now become a leading regional bank from the numbers. It's not from the subsidiaries we have, it's the distribution of the balance sheet. And when we look at the pace of growth, the subsidiaries seems to be growing much faster.
During the half-year, Equity formulated the Africa Recovery and Resilience Plan, which it implemented with anchor shareholders including IFC, ARISE and national governments. Also on board are national UN representative offices, 14 development banks, and global, regional and national private sector champions.
The strategy we have adopted is the African Recovery and Resilience Plan. And as you can see, it's not a Kenyan plan. It's a regional plan, it's a continental plan, because we have realized the only thing that can support us to succeed is the market. And the market, the larger the market, the better. So that is why we have leveraged on the East African Community Common Market and leveraged on the African Continental Free Trade Area, the Commonwealth arrangements. 21 African countries are in that market, and seeing how we can leverage on market capabilities.